for joining us today. Well, it's day 14 of the Schumer shutdown. Our National Guard has been working without pay. Our air traffic controllers are working without pay to keep air travel safe. Federal workers, we have quite a few in West Virginia, they've been furloughed without pay. The American people and West Virginia, we're sick and tired of it. And in West Virginia, we want to get our people back to work. Just a few days into the shutdown, I announced that West Virginia would be keeping our national parks open and fully operational during one of the busiest tourism months that we have. Thank you. We acted quickly, and thanks to Tourism Secretary Chelsea Ruby, who I think is somewhere back there today, and many others, West Virginia was the first state in the nation to sign an agreement with the feds to keep our national parks open. And I think that's making a difference for our local communities. I want to thank President Trump. I want to thank Secretary Doug Burgum and the Trump administration for working with West Virginia to protect our tourism industry during this critical time. The political gridlock in Washington, it's hurting a lot of people. But we took swift action in one area where we felt we could mitigate the effects of the shutdown, and that's protecting our beautiful national parks. We know that tourism is huge for West Virginia, bringing in billions and billions of dollars every year. And we have an amazing crowd here today, made up of some of the hardworking folks that you know and you rely on to allow our tourism industry to succeed. They deserve a very big thank you for all they do, all you do, to make West Virginia a welcoming place for visitors from across the globe. Last year, our tourism industry had a record-breaking year, over $9.1 billion of economic impact. Think about that. Huge, a record for our state. New River Gorge National Park and Preserve welcomed a record 1.8 million visitors this past year. That's a nearly 50% increase since it became America's 63rd national park. And I've been to many of them. I think the national park system's a great gem for our country. But boy, our New River Gorge Park and Harpers Ferry, they're some of the finest. So I hope people have a chance to get out and take advantage of the amazing parks that we have. In October alone, more than 200,000 visitors come to New River Gorge. So this was not the time to be shut down. Last year, Harpers Ferry also saw nearly 490,000 visitors. That was a 15% increase over the past 2 years. And 78,000 visited Harpers Ferry just in October. Now, last week, we announced that West Virginians and others are going to benefit from some discounts. That if you go and have a 3-day stay in a West Virginia state park, we're offering a 20% discount. Now, I had to go back and forth with Chelsea, over the right discount amount, but she wore me out, and West Virginians have that great discount amount, and I'm really thrilled for that. As a reminder, if you're watching, you can use the code FALLMOSTHEAVEN. Who comes up with these things, by the way? It's one word, to book their stays and receive the discount. I've said it again and again, and it deserves repeating. West Virginia's natural beauty is unmatched. Our national parks are incredible. Our state parks are some of the best in the country. And I believe it's my duty to promote these natural wonders and gems and encourage visitors from all across the globe to visit Wild and Wonderful. Now we know this upcoming Saturday, Bridge Day is coming, and that's just another huge event for tourism and local businesses alike. Our agreement with the national parks ends on Friday night, but I want to be clear today that it's my intent that if the federal government fails to reopen by then, I fully intend to extend that agreement, and Bridge Day will go on as planned. Right now, we're working on the paperwork with the national parks to make sure that we can extend that agreement until the end of the month if it's needed. We're hopeful that we can have that final deal announced in the next day or two. Here with us today, we're very fortunate to be joined by a few people that are getting to see the impact of our tourism firsthand. So I'd like to start out first to hear from Becky Sullivan, who's the director of the New River Gorge Convention and Visitors Bureau. I want to bring her up to share some updates about what's going on with the small businesses and about Bridge Day, which is a great chance for West Virginia to showcase its amazing stuff. So, Becky.
Thank you. So thank you for having us today. We're super grateful for this announcement today. Bridge Day is 4 days away, 3 if you don't count Saturday, because it happens Saturday. It is West Virginia's largest single-day festival, and we are anticipating some fantastic weather. I don't know if you've seen the weather report, but it's like 75 and sunny. So Bridge Day was chosen to be on the third Saturday of October because of that, because of the weather history and the spectacular fall foliage that happens at that time. So we're really looking forward to this weekend. As of right now, we have over 300 base jumpers registered. They are coming from 39 states and 4 countries. We have over 200 rappellers. Benji Simpson III is here, and Cindy Martell with the rappellers Highline and Bridgewalk. By the time Bridge Day comes, we will have over 100 Highliners registered. And Active Southern West Virginia does a 5K where you can run across the bridge on Saturday. And they have 500 registered runners, and they are all representing 26 states across the U.S. We have over 200 vendors ready to serve the spectators that come. And those vendors are coming representing 12 states in the U.S. We expect tens of thousands of spectators to come out, especially with the weather forecast. So Bridge Day has a huge economic impact on Fayette County and our surrounding region. The entire New River Gorge region benefits from Bridge Day. It is a huge event for our state. It is a huge event for our area. So I would just really like to extend my thank you to Chelsea Ruby, the Secretary, and Governor Morrisey for this opportunity to continue with our plans for Bridge Day and showcase our little corner of Almost Heaven, West Virginia.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, Becky. You know, we've talked a lot about how local businesses benefit from our national parks, our state parks, and from tourism in general. But you know, it's not just the hotels, it's the local shops, the restaurants, coffee clutches and shops, grocery stores, and all the little places where tourists go in to spend money. Today, I want to give the chance to highlight some of our small businesses that are directly impacted by the national parks and our decision to keep them open for business. So, love to hear from you, Tom Wagner, and Haynes Mansfield about what's going on. Come on up.
Well, thank you. I'm Tom Wagner with Adventures on the Gorge. And I want to say Bridge Day is one of, if not the single largest one-day festival in the country. It's a fabulous event. It starts Friday night at our location. There's a Taste of Bridge Day, which is a fundraiser to support the local Rotary organization, which everybody knows donates to civic needs which are in our community. So this is extremely important. But there's nothing better than being underneath the bridge when the parachutes are opening and full colors are coming down with the fall colors. The combination is spectacular. We get travelers from around the country that come just for that day to raft with us and to stay with us. And also what we have is the combination of gully season being the last weekend of releases. So what you've got is 2 fabulous days here in West Virginia, which are like nowhere else in the country, and they bring visitors from all over. I can't express enough our gratitude for the governor to make sure that Bridge Day is happening this year and the parks are staying open. And it truly shows the future of West Virginia's economy and what can be done when we all work together. So thank you, Governor.
Thank you.
Good morning. It's unbelievable to see so many people here in this room supporting our national parks. It's one of the most important things that our state has to offer to the world, and I mean truly the world. Our rafting season goes on beyond Friday, as does Bridge Day. I would like to personally thank Governor Morrisey for extending the national parks through this shutdown, for extending our rafting season, and to Chelsea Ruby, Secretary Ruby, for everything you and your team has done. I'm the marketing director of Ace Adventure Resort. We raft a total of 30,000 people through the New River Gorge each year, and combined with our partners at Adventures on the Gorge, Cantrell Rafting, West Virginia Adventures, we will run 70,000 guests through the incredible national park that is a part of our state. It's the best way to experience the New River Gorge National Park. When we get to the fall, with the release of Golly, as Tom mentioned, it is world-class whitewater. I have been around this nation. I've rafted the Grand Canyon. I've rafted in other countries. And I can tell you, we have world-class whitewater right here in our backyard. And
Tell them about the rankings. I want
Yes,
you to
sir.
tell them about how highly we're ranked worldwide for the challenging courses, because a lot of West Virginians don't realize just how incredible what we have is.
It's truly world class. So you can raft up to class 5 legally on a commercial rafting trip because we can continue to keep you safe in that situation. The Golly offers 5 class 5 plus rapids and a nearly undeveloped wilderness, crystal clear water experience. And it is in the top 5 rafting experiences in this world.
It's pretty cool.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We have guests and guides that come to join us. For a small business like us, what it means when we get to fall rafting is we find out we've baked this cake of tourism, economic impact all year long. But as we get to Golly season, it's when we find out, have we really grown? Because we know that the visitation to the park has grown, but are the businesses growing as well? And the answer is, yes, we were getting there. We were up at least 10% as we rolled into Golly season, and we were at the governor's conference celebrating all the accomplishments that our industry, our state, and our tourism team and our governor's team have done for us. And then we found out there's a shutdown and there's a lump in your throat. What do you do? What do we do now? Because this is when we ice that cake and we find out if we have turned a profit. Are we going to be able to add activities to our company next year? Are we going to be able to take a part-time job and transition it into a full-time job with benefits? Are we going to be able to pay out bonuses to our valuable employees that are going to pay, no joke, for school supplies, that students are going to go back to school and use to pay their tuition, and that will ensure holidays that people are looking for at the end of the year? So when the question is, does rafting really have an impact on our state economy? It absolutely does. I want to mention that we are a drive destination, not a fly destination. So guests, if they fly, will come to an airport outside of our border. They will travel to nearly the center of the state in the New River Gorge National Park, and they're going to drop breadcrumbs of economic benefit all along the way. They're going to spend multiple days with us. Rafters don't just raft. They dine. They enjoy beverages. They buy lodging. They go to our local gift shops. They go to our local restaurants. They go to our gas stations. They bring outside dollars into our state that are expanded every single day. I could go on, but I hope that I've made an impression with you folks. And I want to say, first and foremost, there's a lot of talk out there. But for a governor to put West Virginia first, because we don't often come first, although we deserve to, and we're doing it more and more, for Governor Morrisey to say, no, our national parks will stay open, and we will have a Golly season, and we will have a Bridge Day, has a positive impact in our state like none other. And I thank you, sir, for putting West Virginia first.
I appreciate it. Hey, one question for you.
Yes, sir.
While you're here, if you can share with the audience. So talk to me a little bit, because there was a lot of concern. I even met people that were worried that the parks were going to be shut down.
Right.
Now they're staying open right now. Has the chilling effect still hurt the area, or did the announcement come in time? It's kept virtually all of the traffic. Talk to us what you're really seeing on the ground.
It really did come in time. And I think what really will drive that point home is if anybody's ever gone to a restaurant that you expected to be open, and you know they're supposed to be open, and you go and they're closed, and you don't come back to that restaurant, and you certainly don't tell good stories about it, but the quick action of Chelsea Ruby and Governor Morrisey to let it be known that we are open, I do not even recall having questions asked about, is the national park going to be open? Do we need to consider rescheduling our rafting trip. It did not happen. And we are going to finish strong, and I thank you for that.
Great, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. This is pretty cool stuff because we have a chance for West Virginia to really shine and to send a message across our state and quite frankly across the country that we're doing things a little bit differently here, and we're going to make sure we put West Virginia first, and that when it comes to our tourism industry, we will not accept anything but first place. So we're grateful for to have the opportunity to hear these stories and talk about it. And now I know with the press here, I'm happy to field any questions. Let's start at least focusing on tourism, and then if there are other questions, of course, I'm happy to take it. Stephen.
I'll give you a question about this. I was just in Fayetteville this past weekend.
I saw that, yes.
Had friends in from Minnesota. We did the hike on Long Point. We went to the Sanford Society.
You did 3 Mountaineer Miles.
So we did. And we did the Visitor Center, which was packed. Most of the cars there were out-of-state plates. Talking about this, obviously the state's fronting the money to be able to do this. How much potentially, if we're going to keep the park open, potentially to the end of the month, how much are we footing to do that? And what's our return on investment? Because obviously,
that's a good question.
It's usually pretty good anyway in a normal time, but obviously it's going to be a little diminished, but it's still, we'll get our money back, is what I'm asking.
I believe so. I mean, look, when they presented to me $7,000 a day, I thought that was a really good deal. And so it'll obviously be hundreds of thousands of dollars if it extends out. But the other way to think about it is if you go up to Harper's Ferry and you talk to all the small businesses that are depending upon this during a difficult time. I mean, Harper's Ferry, Jefferson County, Fayette County, Nicholas County, a lot of these areas, they would be hurt a lot. And we know that some of these communities actually are being hurt right now by the Schumer shutdown. We have a lot of federal employees in different parts of our state, and there's no doubt that that's going to have an economic effect, a negative one on West Virginia. So I really believe that when you can at least mitigate some of the harm, it's making a big difference. So we think that the ROI is good. Stephen, I don't have the exact numbers for you now, but this seemed like just a no-brainer because so many dozens and dozens and dozens of businesses. I mean, how many businesses in Fayette County do you think are impacted by this? I mean, so 40, 50, 60. I mean, just it's big. And so we're excited about that, and obviously up in the Eastern Panhandle as well. And look, I would argue maybe there's an opportunity if our message has gotten out. We were the first in the nation to be able to open up. Maybe, just maybe, we're drawing more people to come in from other states. As you indicated, a lot of out-of-state plates coming in. That's great when you see that. They're spending their hard-earned money in West Virginia. That's part of the point, lure more people in. So if we've done that right, I think that could lead to good dividends. Great question. Thank you. Next question.
Like John at 13 News.
Hey.
Obviously, fall is the busiest time for tourism in West Virginia. We've seen the time and time again.
Yeah.
Huge numbers coming in. In a nightmare situation where this shutdown goes beyond the end of the month in November and even into December, is it possible to keep extending this deal, or are we just going to cross that bridge when we get there?
Well, we're going to look. Obviously, as time goes on, there are other issues that get affected in state government. So I won't cover all those here, but obviously West Virginia is involved in a lot of public programs with the federal government. So a lot depends upon whether that shutdown continues and how it's structured. I know that President Trump has, for example, talked a lot about paying the troops, and so we'll keep looking at that because we all want our troops to be paid. So do they make any changes between now and the end of the month or November? Is it a full shutdown? Is it limited? So we're not going to engage in the hypotheticals, but we know that there are a lot of impacts with the shutdown. But I can say for right now, there will be an extension of the agreement with respect to the national parks at a minimum for the next 2 weeks. And one of the reasons is we want to make sure we got through Bridge Day, which was such a big day for West Virginia. Next question. Henry.
Is there any concern with the, especially in that eastern part of the state, the national forest?
By the way, good article the other day on Milwaukee.
Thank you, sir. That national forest area there where a lot of folks that, live and work in the D.C. area come out to view the foliage.
Yeah.
Very concerned there might be some economic impact there since a lot of those folks are federal employees.
Yeah.
contractors?
Well, certainly we want people to come in from out of state. We're worried about federal workers that are being furloughed right now. We want to get them back to work as soon as possible. Obviously, we're always concerned when people are not getting paid and what that may do for the economy. I don't have any specific projections right now, but that's yet another reason why I think it's important to stop the Schumer shutdown. And I'm hopeful that there will be some activity to free up to end the gridlock that's going on in DC right now. But we're going to keep monitoring very closely because there are a lot of federal employees, obviously up in the EP and in North Central and in other parts of the state. And we're going to watch closely to see what the economic impact of that looks like. Hey, Bob.
I want to change the subject, but
You can. Any other tourism questions?
yeah, I'll wait.
Okay. Go ahead, Bob.
Obviously, one of the key public health issues that we're dealing with now is the religious exemption to the compulsory vaccination law. Are you concerned at all that Dr. Mark McDaniel, who is the acting state public health officer, testified under oath last week that he had no professional or personal opinion about that subject, felt it was not under his purview, and didn't seem to understand the mechanical process that people go through at this point to get that exemption from the health department?
So
does that worry you? Is that
no,
problematic?
So I think it's important for people to know that once the process started, Dr. McDaniel started fairly recently. And so there's been an individual who has been in charge for a prolonged period of time, Jeremy Davis. And so that responsibility stayed with him. So it made sense that the person that was handling it the whole way handled it through. So I have great respect for Dr. McDaniel, and I'm not familiar with all the exact questions that were asked, but I think that the public should have confidence in him and that he just wasn't engaged and involved in those issues because that had been delegated to the Commissioner of Public Health early on. So I think
any kind of a litmus test for his hiring?
no, I mean, I think we look for high quality people. And to be blunt, I think the biggest challenge for hiring like that is that there are always these limitations. He's enacting, but some of the limitations that are put in place to limit people to go practice on the side, that's what we found was challenging. A lot of the early applicants we had were people that said that they wanted to maintain their license and that the way that the statute was drafted made it very, very difficult. So we want to make sure that we have the best quality people. And if people can maintain their license, continue to get good experience, we think that's better policy. And that's part of the reason that took a while. But there was always an acting. It just, the question is, what are the criteria that you use statutorily? And in that case, I would argue the biggest issue was being so constrictive that people weren't able to work on the side and have some sort of practice, which I think helps make them a higher quality person, higher quality official. Next question. Any other questions?
Oh, yes, I was looking for an update. We're approaching the World Healthcare Aid application deadline.
Absolutely.
See if there's an update on how the conversations between you, your team, and the hospitals in the area
Sure.
have been going, and what does West Virginia need to do to set themselves apart from the other states that are buying?
Absolutely. And first, I'd like to go back, Bob, to the other point here. Here's the bigger picture point, and I'd ask if people are writing about it to focus on it. West Virginia is a deep outlier in terms of this effort to prevent people from having the most basic of religious exemptions for vaccines. 45 states in the nation permit a religious exemption. I've asked for a religious exemption, and we're trying to push that and articulate that to get West Virginia in the mainstream, because you don't want to be so far out and have the same policy of California. I've been very clear that because of herd immunity, that there isn't the kind of effect that a lot of our people in our public health community are claiming that there is. This is a very modest proposal. It puts West Virginia into the mainstream. Once again, we want to be part of the 45 and 46 as opposed to the 5. And I think the longer people focus on that fact, and we're looking at, right now, it'll be close to 500 or so people. This is not many thousands. This is not ripping away all of the rules. This is a very narrow piece. That's what we're asking for. And the more that the public understands that, they won't fall prey to the scare tactics that are coming from the other side. I wanted to address that, and then I'm going to answer that question up there. So the rural health deadline is November 5th. So right now we're meeting with a number of people in an effort to try to get input from the hospitals, from the providers, and from others. And that process will continue over the course of the upcoming weeks. So we're having good conversations. It's a very tough timeline. So that's why we brought in help, and we were working this weekend on it. And I'm going to try to get as much input as we can and try to have the best possible application to put West Virginia in a very good light. Any other questions? Guys, good luck. Bridge Day is coming. This is going to be an incredible opportunity. Let's get this out far and wide across West Virginia, that we're not going to let the shutdown affect our tourism industry. And I'll come back to you again very soon. Thank you.